With some amazing finishes and some crazy upset, we're going to have a postseason episode of Sports Path that is going to be one to remember.
Yeah, that's right, Sam. We are live at North St. Paul before the highly anticipated section matchup between North versus Tartan.
That's right. We're going to be live before this Section 4 4A game. That's going to be on tape delay, unfortunately, but we got a live episode of Sports Path coming for you right now.
3-1 hockey game.
Well, hello everybody, welcome to the show, and things might look a little bit different because this is our first ever show outside of the Sports Path studio. Sam Erickson, John Miller, so happy to be with you as we're awaiting the start of the Section 4 4A quarterfinals between North and Tartan. But first, we got this episode of Sports Path for you.
Yeah, Sam, I couldn't be more excited. This is going to be an outstanding matchup, and it's our first time away from the set. It doesn't get any better. We're out here for the section game. It's going to be a great one.
Yeah, unfortunately for you guys, we can't film that live, but it'll be on tape delay. But we're going to get into that after this episode of Sports Path. But first, we're going to start off with some hockey, and we're going to talk a little bit about how girls' season ended up. And Matabini had a very nice regular season, 9 conference wins in the Metro East, 17 wins overall. White Bear Lake over in the Suburban East had a very nice season with 10 conference win in that tough conference. And Matabini moving on to the section tournament, they got the 3 seed, South St. Paul the 2 seed. They were defeated in the semifinals by St. Paul United, who is the 4A section champs. White Bear Lake defeated North Tartan in Section 4 2A on the girls' side, and then upset Mounds View, the 2 seed, when White Bear was the 3 seed, to reach the final, where they met Hill Murray. And unfortunately for White Bear Lake, Hill Murray won that one 4-0, and they would be your representatives in the state tournament. So there's a little quick wrap of our girls' hockey as those state tournaments are even done with. But now we're going to get into the boys' side of things, and first we're going to take a look at the 4 single-A section bracket.
Yeah, let's take a look at that bracket. Matamita had a little trouble in the semis versus Northfield as they took that one 3-2 in overtime, so that one was a really tough one for Matamita, and I think it would get a little harder along the way. But then they would go on to face Simley, which I think might be a little bit easier for them, Sam.
Yeah, and that's a game that we got some highlights of. You saw Simley struggled themselves in their semifinal matchup, but got a huge upset in double overtime, 1-0 over the 2 seed South St. Paul. So it was Matamidi versus Simley with it all to play for. State tournament bid on the line. There's a good look. And Matamidi the favorite in this one as the 2 seed, but Simley is actually going to get the scoring started. Robbie Watson from behind the net with a nice wraparound goal. 9 minutes into this one gives Simley the 1-0 lead. But a little bit later on in that first period, Simley defenders leave Dylan Lallier alone in front of net, and he is going to equal things up for the Zephyrs at 1. A big goal there, and then even later in this first period, about 13 seconds left to go, Matamidi is going to make it 2-1. Huge goal from Cullen Gutso to make it 2-1 and give Matamidi the momentum going into the second period, and that momentum for sure carried over as the Zephyrs get a goal to make it 3-1 in the second. Big celebrations there. That was Corey Pilarski, transfer from North St. Paul, actually, in first year with the Zephyrs, got the big goal. So it's 3-1 here, still in the second period. Chance now for Simley, and they're going to get one back, and they make it 3-2 with about 13-15 left to go in the second period. Still in the second period, Matamidi gets a chance to regain that 2-goal lead, and they do it, as it's Nikolai Dulak finding a hole, and he snipes it in for that 2-goal lead. Zephyrs back up, this time 4-2. Now into the third period, puck behind the net again. Players everywhere scrambling for it, and Colin Hagstrom eventually gets a stick to it. A minute and a half into the third period, score goes back up, and it's 5-2 Matamidi, and they're looking good to go on to the state tournament. Will be their second state tournament berth in 2 years, but don't look too fast as Simley gets a goal, making it 5-3. They're still hanging around, so 5-3. Last seconds here of the game, empty net. Matamidi is going to have an easy one. That'll seal it. They go up 6-3, and it's going to be your Mahtomedi Zephyrs going on to the XL Energy Center out of Section 4 Single A. And with that, we'll take a look at that tournament bracket. You see how it ends up. Mahtomedi winning it 6-3 over Simley. So big win after a scare there in the semifinals against Northfield.
Yeah, now let's check out the 4-2A bracket, where White Bear Lake got the #1 seed. They beat Hill Murray in the regular season this year for the first time since 2004. The picnic line, Austin Carroll, Chase Hamstead, and Max Jenrick, who are now seniors. This is really looking to be their year. Now let's get into the White Bear Lake versus Tartan semifinal matchup, and we'll take you to this one where only 58 seconds into this one, a turnover behind the Tartan net gives White Bear Lake the puck. An easy centering feed a few shots later. Sam Newpower eventually gets it in. That's a 1-0 lead less than a minute into this one. As you can see, the celebrations are underway earlier. Now less than a minute later, puck behind the net again. Austin Terrell gets the feed. He spins and shoots, puts it in for a 2-0 lead. The Bears are really coming out hot in this semifinal matchup. Now just over 3 minutes in, the Titans got the power play. Turnover in favor of White Bear Lake. It's Hamstead off to the races. Long pass down to him as he tallies a shorthanded goal. He makes it 3-0. Still less than 5 minutes to go, or still less than 5 minutes into this game. Now a few minutes later, guess who? Initial shot goes to Spencer Millard, but it's Chase Hamstead right there for the putback. That's 2 goals in the first period for Hamstead, and the scoring finally settles down. It's 4-0. White Bear Lake early on in this one. Now we'll take you late into the second period. Another turnover right in front of the net gets Nate Wilk on the board. 5-0 Bears after 2 periods, and they're really just running away with this one in the semifinal matchup. Now the Bears are on the power play just minutes into the third period. James Hamstead with the puck. He has options to pass, but instead he fires it on the goal himself. He gets the hat trick. That's 3 goals for Hamstead, getting the hat trick in the Section 4 2A semifinals. Now with the 6-goal lead, it's running clock at the third, final seconds counting down. Bears let up their guard after a faceoff, and Tartan scores a buzzer beater goal. Refs call it good at 0.1 seconds on the clock, so Tartan stops the shutout, but that doesn't stop the Bears from destroying the Titans in the semifinals 6-1. And that's a final score from Aldrich Arena. We talked to the picnic line, Chase Hamstead, Austin Carroll, and Jenrich to get their thoughts on the game after losing to Tartan last year in the quarterfinals.
In that first round game to them last year, this is all we wanted to think about, was get ready for playoffs again.
Definitely from last year, we all took it as a line that said this isn't going to happen to us this year. As a line, we said this year we're going to work a lot harder in the offseason, prepare ourselves through the whole season, and bring it in the postseason. And that's what we did tonight, and we're glad we got the victory.
This was a game that we were hoping would happen since last year. I mean, they knocked us out last year, and we wanted to return the favor. We had a chip on our shoulder all year. And it's great to get back to this point and be able to take them out this time.
I can't thank my line mates and my defense enough for their effort tonight, getting me the puck and stuff like that. I won't score if it's without them. So I thought he played great tonight. Our defense stepped up in blocking shots, and being able to talk to him, it always helps him out, and he played well.
Yeah, he was really good on his angles today, and just our communication just as a team, and especially with him, that's lacked in the past, but tonight was better, and that helped.
I think you could just tell he was on just based on his rebound control and how confident he played.
I got to go with Hill. They've beat us too many times in the past, and we beat them once this year, and why not beat them twice?
I mean, it's a classic rivalry, and who doesn't want to play in a game like that in a section final?
I want to play Hill too. It'd just be a great atmosphere, and it'd be fun to beat him again.
All right, so White Bear Lake reversing the upset from last year when Tartan took them down as the 6th seed. White Bear Lake had a little bit of scare in that quarterfinal against Roseville, but really came out gunning in that semi and got into the final where they're going to take on Hill Murray. You see Hill Murray got the win against Stillwater 3-1. So it'll be the rivalry in the Section 4 2A championship. And White Bear Lake actually defeated Hill Murray this regular season for the first time since 2004. So the Bears, it looks to be their year, ranked in the top 10 in state all year long. But bad start for the Bears as Henry Eischen takes the puck and he skates it in for the 1-0 Hill Murray lead late in the first period. Second period now. White Bear trying desperately to get a goal back. It's tied up at 1, but Remington Keppel looking good in net for the Pioneers. A little bit later on here, midway through second period, Henry Eischen takes it again. White Bear Lake defender blew a tire, and Eischen able to skate in right in on net, and he puts home the point-blank opportunity for his second goal of the game, and Hill Murray goes up 2-0. Now Hill Murray again on an odd man rush later in the second period. Charlie Strobel shoots it himself rather than dishing it off, and it is now 3-0 Hill Murray, so nightmare scenario for White Bear Lake as they look to be the team to beat coming into this one, but the Pioneers with that history looking very good. Bears working it around, trying to get something before the end of the second period, get some momentum into the third. They are able to get one. It's the picnic line combining, and I think Chase Hempstead getting on the end of it. He'll net another one, and it's 3-1. Bears might be on the comeback. Now into the third period, Bears peppering the net. They outshot the Pioneers all night long. In fact, the final tally read 29-19, 11-6 in the third period, but Remington Keppel would not be denied. 3-1 is your final score as Hill Murray takes it, and they are going to be your representative from Section 4-2A at the XL Energy Center and the state tournament. So tough luck for White Bear Lake, but a very, very good season. Graphic wrong there. Hill Murray got the win 3-1, unfortunately, over the Bears.
Yeah, White Bear Lake always has trouble with Hill Murray. They couldn't beat them twice in a year for the first time since Lord knows when. But now it's time to switch over from basketball, or from hockey to basketball. We'll get to you guys the section, or the Metro East standings to start here.
Actually, check that, John. I think we're going to get into, forgot this happened, state tournament started today. Your Matamidi Zephyrs actually had a game this morning at 11 a.m. They went up against Mankato East Loyola, and I believe we actually have some highlights from that game as well.
Yeah, excuse me, Sam. I was just so excited with the basketball in the background. Let's go to the Matamidi versus Mankato East matchup, and we'll take you midway through the first period. Joe Paradise nets an even strength goal to give Matamidi the lead 1-0 with 9:20 left to go in the first period. Now 2 goals for East in the second period. At the start of the third, a fan and block shot leads to another Paradise goal, tying it up at 2. Now we'll take you late in the third, still tied at 2. East gets called for boarding, 5 minutes man advantage for the Zephyrs. Now the Zephyrs will be 1 man up. The Zephyrs will eventually, as you'll see, this is the boarding call right here, is a terrible thing to do for the East player. 1 man up, the Zephyrs score with 2 minutes remaining to take the lead. It's now 3-2. Matamidi's got the lead, and they would not let up on this one. Sealing the deal eventually right here is Corey Pilarski. He'll get the wraparound goal. Score 4-2. At the post-game press conference, Coach Jeff Poschel talked about Matamidi's hockey season.
Well, this team has shown grit all season. From day one, we were down 2 goals to Hill Murray in our opening game back in December 5th, going into the third period, and they battled back against a good Hill Murray team, and they've just shown that kind of resiliency and resolve. And as a coach, it's just a pleasure to be a part of, because on the bench there's no quit, there's no panic. It's okay, let's get to work and let's get this taken care of.
This being their ninth.
We'll see.
All right, so Matamidi getting the big win. We want to thank our producer Anthony Miller for getting those highlights in there just in the nick of time. But Matamidi gets the big win in their quarterfinal matchup, and I believe, yep, you saw there, Orono went final as well. Got the other 2 quarterfinal matchups happening today, but it might be Matamidi versus Orono in the next round. But congratulations to the Zephyrs on a successful start to the tournament.
Yeah, let's see how they end up. Now we can switch over to the girls basketball. We're going to the Metro East standings. And Matamidi, of course, finished in first place overall as they went 23-2 overall in the regular season, 13-1 overall. Tartan finished in 5th place with a 6-7 conference record, 14-11 overall. Luckily for them, there's a lot more basketball left to be played, Sam, in the sections.
Yeah, that's right. You might hear some interesting things. As we want to remind you, if you're just joining us, we're doing a special episode of Sports Path. We are live from the North St. Paul Gym as we're getting ready for North to take on Tartan in boys Section 4-4A basketball. But returning back to talking about girls b-ball, we're going to talk about White Bear Lake, and the Suburban East had a bit of a down year, but they've had a very successful program under Coach Jeremy Post. 13-13 this year, but after a couple state tournament bursts the past few years, not surprised to see a down year, but I'm sure Coach Post over there at White Bear Lake is going to be just fine.
Yeah, I think he is, Sam. Now let's take a look at the Section 4 3A bracket. Mahtomedi got the #1 seed as expected. They started postseason play against a very bad Columbia Heights team, and I was there on the call for that one. So let's see how this one finished out, as we knew this one was going to be a blowout. We're just here to give you the highlights of what happened. As Mahtomedi started off hot, as Saugstad nails one from deep. Drano, nothing but net. Now Groothuis will be using her size eventually here to steal the ball. This is really the story all game. She gets the ball, and she won't be stopped on this one. She drives down the court, sees an open lane, gets the running jumper, shades of Steve Nash, up 12-0 now, Mahtomedi. Now get contributions from all over the bench, including the freshman showing up, El Haransky. She'll net a three-pointer, making it to 15-0. Mahtomedi nets most of their points from three, as they'll get their 5th three-pointer now, making it 18-0. Just outstanding shooting early going. It's 18-0, 5 minutes into play. Now Destiny Vaughn finally puts Columbia Heights with they didn't get their first basket until 6.5 left to play in the first half. Now a steal on the inbounding pass late in the half. Mahtomedi gets it out to Hannah Laughlin. She makes two points, and that's 2 of her 4 on the game. That's 35-3 score, would be at halftime, folks. Just not a good thing. And then the second half was pretty much the same story. Final score 60-23, and what we knew was going to be a blowout with only 3 points in the first half for Columbia Heights. They'll look to improve next season, but there's really no stopping this Mahtomedi team, Sam. Just outstanding play from Lehigh-bound Emma Groothuis.
Absolutely. So Mahtomedi getting the big win. They got another win in the semifinal against Como Park, 81-55. So they'll be in the final against a very good De La Salle team. De La Salle knocked them out of the tournament a year ago, and that's a game we're going to have on tape delay for you as well. That championship, that is live tomorrow, but we'll have it on tape delay. All right, well, there was Section 4 3A. Now on to Section 4 4A, where we have some of our Fab 4 representation. And what we saw was just a blowout between Mahtomedi and Columbia Heights. Is not going to be the case for White Bear Lake and Tartan, who met in a quarterfinal matchup to start their postseason. And that is a game we did right here on SEC TV, and that has some very good highlights. There's a look. A couple teams with pretty similar records. The Bears getting that 4 seed, so Tartan had to go on the road. Courtney Crouch, trailing 4, is going to get the scoring started for White Bear Lake with a big 3 to make it 4-3. So big shot from number 5. And in fact, she's going to continue the scoring for White Bear Lake, as on the fast break, Crouch found again in the corner, knocks it down, and it is 6-4. And it was a lot of three-pointers in this one. Tartan pushed ahead 27-22, a big 3 from Janicki as she makes it 27-25. Tartan up by 2. Tartan is going to answer back. This is from the far corner. It's Gabby Hicks. Gabby Hicks gets a good look, and she's able to knock it down, and it's a 30-25 lead for Tartan. Beginning of the second half now. It's going to take Tartan a few minutes to get some points on the board, but when they did, you guessed it, came from a three-pointer. That's Angelina Mims from beyond the arc. She adds to the Tartan lead. White Bear, though, going to answer back. Three-pointer. And they're down just 1. Too bad White Bear couldn't get a 4-pointer right there. But just like that, with the 1-point lead, Tartan's going to hit another 3-pointer to go back up 4 at 38-34. Again, the Titans find the hot hand and sink another 3. This is going to make it 41-34 with 12 minutes to go. It looked like Tartan's going to pull ahead in this one, but just 40 seconds to go as we move forward. White Bear Lake goes down 3. Got a chance to tie it. Sanders from beyond the arc. She knocks it down, and it is 55 apiece with half a minute to go. A little bit later now, 10 seconds on the clock. Tartan, trying to draw up a play. Zaria Chevra draws the defense down, kicks it to Kendra Ekareke. She knocks down the three-pointer. 2.5 seconds left to go, and it looks like Tartan's season's going to continue on. They got a huge shot. All they had to do is tick off a couple seconds. There it goes, 58-55 would be your final. So many points coming from beyond the three-point line in that game. It was pretty crazy. We caught up with a girl who hit the game-winning shot. Kendra
The first thing I can
Ekareke,
say is that Zaria, she drove in perfectly. Chevre had that nice toss. I was super duper nervous. Like, I was shaking on the inside. I'm like, I got to make this for the team. And I made it, and it was a good experience because we've never made it this far for like all my high school career. So I know it's a good feeling for me and for my team also. With the young team, they always say it's a disadvantage, but I think it's an advantage. And that just means we have more to build off of. And he really pushes us to use our strengths, as you saw Cummings driving through the lane, all of us knocking down our jump shots. Everyone just came together and we played together, and he forces us to bring that energy. And he's just a really, really good coach, and I'm just blessed that we could make it this far with him, his first year also. Personally, first thing I want to say is that we need to bring the same amount of energy that we brought here. All the girls are the same, so we know what we're up against, and we just got to play our game. We have to get hard in the paint and just play.
All right, well, that Columbia Heights Mahtomedi game you did, John, might have been a blow-up, but that was a classic right there. Congratulations to Tartan on the big win. And if you're just joining us, I want to remind you that we are here at the North St. Paul Gymnasium for a live and special episode of Sports Bats as we kind of focus in on the winter postseason.
Yeah, there we got Aton Kimmins shooting some Jays, trying to get hyped up. He's one of the better players, and he will be the key for Tartan to win this game, Sam. So he's getting that stroke underway here in the early going.
Well, I was there for the Tartan North matchup at Tartan earlier, and Kimmins had a huge game for a Tartan win. So we're looking forward to things. That's going to be on tape delay. Can't bring it to you live like this episode of Sports Bath, unfortunately. But we're going to continue on with our live episode and get into a package of one of the Tartan girls' star players.
Azaria Chevre is an impressive figure for the Tartan Titans. Her exploration of athletics at an early age had an equally impressive array.
I've always been an athletic kid, so I loved softball, soccer, track, basketball. My dad got me into everything, so basketball is just something I stuck with.
While sticking with basketball resulted in big things for Chevre and the Titans, her fellow teammates needed a moment to recognize her sizable presence.
And I just seen this ginormous girl walk in. I'm like, who is that? And why is she so much bigger than everybody? And then I saw her scrimmaging with the varsity girls, and I was like, she's really good.
I was pretty scared of her because she was bigger than everyone else. So I was kind of scared, but I guarded her and did pretty well.
These days, Tartan is defined by their fearlessness, and Chevre's sophomore season exemplified her increasing expertise.
Over everything, I think my IQ has definitely grown. Just like knowing the court, knowing my teammates that I've been playing with for a long time.
Chevre's growth was evident in a regular season game against Stillwater. She racked up 25 points, but it was a shot fake that set up Kendra Ekereke down low that dazzled the crowd most. Chevre with the board. We're going the other way. Ah, nice fake. What a beauty.
The defender came up on me and I saw Kendra was open, so I just hit her for a quick pass and she made it and I celebrated that. So it was really fun too.
I honestly wasn't expecting that because I know she's a really good off the kind of jump shot player, but it just shows how our dynamic is it's effective on the court.
Chevre and Ekereke hooked up for another big play in the 4-4A section playoffs.
Ekereke from downtown! Count it!
Such moments may seem inconsequential on a team that was eliminated in the section semifinals this year, but for Chevre, they represent a strengthening foundation of leadership.
It's made me more mature because that means I have to step up and I have to be a leader and I have to do this and that. And these are my peers, but also my teammates and also my friends.
Chevre is already receiving looks from Division I schools. As her hype rises, so does her motivation.
It's great to have all these people interviewing me and everything like that, but it's also I have a lot more to go. I have a lot more developed to do, so I can't ever settle for this.
She's always someone I want to guard because she's a competition for me, whereas I'm also a competition for her, and she knows I'll push her and she'll push me.
Tartan will aim for a stronger postseason push next year, and if Chevre's teammates have any say, they'll hope she'll play the role of catalyst.
She'll be one of those people that everyone at Tartan will want to meet because she came here and she made a big impact on our school.
I love you, you're my best friend, and I can't wait to see where basketball takes you and me.
In Oakdale, I'm Mike Beaton for SEC Sports.
Awesome stuff. I want to thank Mike Beaton for putting that package together. And things might seem a little bit different on this episode of Sports Bat. John, why don't you tell us why we're here?
Because we're at North St. Paul for the North St. Paul versus Tartan for our Coach Class 4-4A section tournament. It's going to be outstanding. Now let's see how everybody got there. First, let's check out the Metro East standings, where North St. Paul actually took first place, 15-1 in conference, 22-4 overall. Tartan finished third, right behind a very good St. Thomas, who most of their losses were against 4A teams. They're a 3A team. And then Mahtomedi was right behind in fourth place, Sam. Now let's take a look at the suburban standings, where White Bear Lake was the only SEC team in the Suburban East, of course. They were 6th in conference. They improved a lot from last year. They're still a very young squad, and their best players are juniors. So, you know, with the loss of Oturu, Cretin-Derham Hall, Eastridge, and Woodbury are losing their seniors, this White Bear Lake team, Sam, can take that next step next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Team definitely on an upward trajectory. Now we'll take a look at the postseason bracket, starting with 4-3A, and Matabidi got the 2 seed after being the 1 seed last year, but you see the 1 seed is Columbia Heights. That was the team that took Matabidi down in that Section 4-3A section championship a year ago. In fact, Columbia Heights beat Matabidi early on in this regular season, so it might be Columbia Heights section to lose, but we're hoping Matabidi can pull that upset.
Now let's take a look at the Section 4A bracket, where, folks, this is one of the toughest conferences, or toughest sections in the thing. North as the 4 seed, Tartan as the 5 seed. And as I just talked about, it's going to be a tough bracket. 4 teams in the top 10 of the Minnesota basketball hub. That's North, Cretin-Derham Hall, Woodbury, and don't forget White Bear Lake's in that at the 5 seed. Whoever wins this section, Sam, is likely to win the state tournament in my book.
Yeah, you got 4 teams in this section alone that are in the top 10 on the MN Basketball Hub, so probably the toughest one in the state, including the #1 team in state, Cretin-Derham Hall. Well, we're going to get ready to broadcast the game between North and Tartan, the 4 and 5 seed, coming up after this. Not going to be live, unfortunately, but we'll have it on tape delay, so look for it in the coming days. And
you got 4 minutes to get here if you're not here, and this is where you want to be.
Yeah, seats are definitely limited. We're going to have a game for you tomorrow as well. Not live at that one, but Matabidi in a section championship against De La Salle. Our next episode of Sports Path 2 weeks from today. That's going to be it for us. For John Miller, I'm Sam Erickson. I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Now Matabidi on the power play. This one's thrown in, and 3-1. The Zephyrs take the lead. John Pilarski even get a shot on the doorstep. Wrap-around, rebound chance, and the Zephyrs have taken a 3-goal lead off the stick of Colin Hagstrom.
5 seconds. Ikriki from downtown! Count it! 2.5 left to play. And Kendra Ikriki.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org. Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. you aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Recently, our country has witnessed catastrophic devastation. Hurricanes and flooding have upended lives and livelihoods.
Across this great country, Americans have answered the call.
That special calling that compels us, when others are down, to step up and do whatever it takes.
America's at her best when, against all odds, we come together and lift each other up.
Please donate to oneamericaappeal.org. America needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.